We're answering your Twitter questions here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with Jim Cramer. Jim, before we dive into the exact questions, we get a lot about China and what's happening with Baidu in particular today. Can you break it down for us?
Baidu is one of the worst quarters I've ever seen. Their spending is going to be up 81%. They're counting on their delivery system. They're counting on their streaming video. They're counting on retail. They're counting on takeout food. I mean, it was just a jumble. I mean, it was a horrendous call. They're counting on the game show Running Man, which my stepson has seen, and it's kind of Bachelorette meets Ben Richards from the Running Man. I mean, it's preposterous. What a bad quarter. And I think the Chinese government's going to try to let the air out of the balloon slower. I think the Chinese government knows it made big mistakes with the stock market. They don't want it to roll over in a straight line. They want a little bit slower than what happened with the NASDAQ in 2000. They know they can't keep it up. They're not that dumb.
All right, well, let's get into our questions here. We have one from Chris who's asking for your ideas on AGCO after its earnings beat.
I'm going to speak to AGCO tonight. I mean, I think what's interesting is that AGCO has bought a ton of stock while they're waiting for the ag cycle to turn around. And I think that's the right thing to do. They were very negative about the future. They've been, kind of just basically saying short term, things are bad, but longer term, we're all going to eat. And that's their view, and that's why they keep buying back stock, and it's not been a bad call.
Well, we know that we have Facebook's earnings report coming out on Wednesday. Asher's looking for your expectations.
My expectations, unfortunately, have been set by these analysts who have it so high that unless they do a major blowout, the stock's going to get hammered.
Anthony asks, does UPS earnings matter, or is it all about the holiday season?
No, they do matter. This is a quarter that showed they got their act together and that Europe's really good and the stock got oversold. And I think that UPS has figured it out. And I think the stock's well behind FedEx. It's a buy even up here.
Great. Next, Chevron. How much further down can it go?
I think the oils are trying to draw a line in the sand. Remember, the oil stocks rolled over well before the price of crude rolled over, and I'm seeing Exxon, they report the same time as Chevron. Exxon trying to make a stand. BP reported a horrendous quarter and the stock went up. Chevron, I think, is going to report a truly awful quarter. No reason to be there. But if Exxon makes a stand at 80, then I think that you're going to find that we're going to be a buyer of the oils, not a seller.
Something to watch. Lastly, Marty wants to know if the dividend is safe at ConocoPhillips. Is it time to start nibbling?
I see Conoco, I said last night on Mad Money, with a 5.6% dividend, you kind of feel pretty good about Conoco. I do want to see what Exxon has to say, though.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim. And if you have a stock question, make sure to tweet it at Jim Cramer using #CramerQ. That's Jim Cramer, and I'm Brittany Umar for The Street.